Welcome to the Find Your Leadership Confidence podcast with Vicki Noethling. You are about to discover impactful lessons that help you grow as an individual, grow your confidence, and find the positive and good within you, so you powerfully and authentically become the best version of yourself. Be sure you visit our website at www.findyourleadershipconfidence.com. While you're there, subscribe to us via your favorite network. Now tune in, get ready, and enjoy the journey of emerging as a leader of exception in the 21st century.
Welcome, everyone, to the Find Your Leadership Confidence podcast. I'm your host, Vicki Noethling, coming to you from Roswell, Georgia. The goal of this podcast is to bring topics and guests that will empower you to become the confident leader and take your business and your life to the next level. Today, I am very excited to have Axa Yox. Yes, I did say it right. Axa Yox.
Axa Yox, yes.
Axa Yox as my guest. And let me tell you about Axa. Axa is an emerging female voice in personal development and transformation. She is the author of the motivational book, Master the Art of Despites, Excuses Shape Our Destiny, Not Our Goals. She describes her innovative technique designed for 8 or 9 to 5ers who are sick and tired of living from paycheck to paycheck and want to escape that rat race. The techniques help overcome anxiety and stop procrastination in pursuit of building extra sources of income. Her approach that she developed and describes in her book is practical and effective, making her a valuable resource for those seeking personal development and transformation. Her second book, Date as a Pro, #1 top mistake singles make that keeps them single, aims to help those with their dating experiences, making them smooth and positive outcomes. Who doesn't want that? As a former scientist with proficiency in physiology and profound experience with top ranked fellowships, as well as first prize award for high achievement in science, she defended her PhD in microbiology with a with a specialty in genetics. She's also the author of 12 inventions. She's amazing. For several years, she was the sole representative from her country at one of the largest international scientific programs in Europe. Lately, she was recognized as the person of extraordinary ability. So buckle up and get ready for this. We're going to talk about innovative techniques about how to rewire old habits. So please join me in welcoming Axa Yox. My goodness, you aren't sitting on your laurels at all. You're a busy woman with all the things that you do. My goodness.
And can you imagine, after achieving all that, you just decide to quit science, to leave your safety net, and just land in the real life and fail dramatically. I failed so many times. I was tired to fail. And every time I would just try something, I was sure that I'm going just to fail again. But I kept going through one cycle to another without realizing that unless you rewire the links that you have in your brain, you will do the same again and again.
Yeah.
I just followed the same pattern that I used. They worked in science and they gave me that safety, but now the real life didn't welcome them. And I was so lost, but I didn't want to stay where I was lost.
Oh my goodness. So where do you live now? Where do you call home?
At the moment, I'm in Miami, and it's very interesting because I was trying to search for that answer for years. I lived in Europe for many years. I studied in Greece. I lived in Germany, in Austria, Switzerland. I traveled nearly all Europe, and I lived for many years already in the US. But still, I feel like I found home within me. So
Yeah.
wherever I go, the
Mm.
and the harmony that I achieved, I will take them with me because I felt that I need to settle somewhere and then to have everything balanced, like the work balance, life and work balance, and all the stuff that people call you to achieve in life. But it's simply not possible unless you find the balance within you.
Yeah, that is right. That is right. So you started your telling us a little bit about your journey that led you to where you are today. Um, I'd love for you to share a little bit more about the details of that journey because it is a scary thing to leave that comfort zone. So what was that moment that really told you, oh, I'm just going to stop doing this and try something new? And also share a little bit more. I love that you talked about failures because I talk about that all the time with my guests, how important it is that you learn from your failures. You don't run away from them.
That was a tough path that I went through because
Yeah.
I quit science. I decided that I have inventions and I'm ready to start my own company. I'm smart. I did everything. And I got the rejection one after another. And while everything what I valued was valuable in science, nothing was working for the real life. And I was surprised. I was like, it's the same people. What's the difference? And then
Mm.
you learn step by step through the failure. Also, I was going through quite hard times. So it wasn't just only that I decided to quit my safety net. I also lost my dad. There was another very hard change of life circumstances in my family, and then my personal trauma. Then I moved all by myself to live in the new country where I knew no one, without friends, and everything was happening one after another within just only 6 months difference. It was so overwhelming, and
Mm.
I didn't even feel lost. I hit the rock bottom, and I wasn't sure that I would ever overcome that. But
Wow.
what I learned once you hit the rock bottom, because I was trying just to emerge again, and I was failing again and again until the point that I realized there is a reason that I fail. It's not just by chance or missing the leg. No, there was a reason. So the next time I failed, I didn't emerge. I just stayed there and I tried to learn the lesson. What I was doing wrong. Because if you just go through the failure to the failure without learning, you will just keep doing what we all do. So you go to work, it's kind of certainty for you because we are biologically wired to feel safety,
Mm.
like to feel certain that we can avoid pain. But in the evening, because if your work is stressful, what do? We normally go for some social activities. Social media is huge at the moment. So we start to fill our life with different activities without realizing that they are not serving. Yet, because when you are on autopilot, your subconscious is fooling you
Mm-hmm.
because it tells, oh, you met everything that you needed. You have beautiful life. Look at that. Many people would wish to have it. Yet we are trying to cook the best cake in our life because we think that we have the recipe from the bowl with the old fish.
Yeah.
Before you clear up everything, you will just keep cooking the same cake that will stink with the old fish.
Mm.
So with the technique that I developed accidentally because I was going through the hardship, being new in the country, plus I needed to support my family. Obviously, I was the only provider, plus to support myself. I was doing the dumbest thing in the world, yet it was so beneficial because I completely balanced my biochemistry. I didn't realize what I was doing, but my body was just demanding me. Then because I am experiencing science, when I felt something odd, I was like, that's weird, kind of. So I started to dig into the literature. And when I realized that what's the shift in biochemistry that I kind of developed with my technique. So whenever you feel the need to change, what is the first emotion that comes up is the fear. We're full of fear. So the biochemistry shifts to the biochemistry responsible for the fear. And if you try to go from the safety to the biochemistry full of fear, you will sabotage, you will slide right away, and you will never ever try to go. Or even if you try, you will slide right back. You will try, slide right back. What I developed is the stages in between that you go step by step. And whenever you are at the next step, you don't run to a growth zone or whatever you call it, that doesn't matter. You go step by step and you raise your tolerance to feel that biochemistry. I bet many people heard that motivational speakers, they say, you have to build the muscle. I had that question, like, what does that mean to build a muscle? Like, what does that mean to build the muscle? And then once I cracked that code, I was like, oh, wow, that's what does that mean. When you go step by step, you raise your tolerance to feel that biochemistry, then you are already one step further, but you don't run the ladder. So you go step by step and you adapt yourself to that biochemistry. And then next time you don't slide right back. You just might either stay there a little bit longer or you step one step back. And then you just go further. And that's kind of, it was so different for me, what I felt. I shared with many people, with friends of mine, and they were like, that's the dumbest thing to do in the world. Within 1 week. But I was like, please do this. Please do me a favor. Please just follow what I said. In 1 week, one by one, they would come and we didn't expect. We thought that you are kidding. And they were changing. Now they all start their own company. They started. So I never call people quit your job. I still have my 8-hour job. But what I do out of the job, this is what changed the life. I sleep 5 hours a day. I transformed my life in 1 week. I lost 40 pounds in 3 months while going through the physiological changes, because normally every time when you go to doctor or somebody who tries to help you with the weight loss, they ask, do you go through physiological changes? That's why you gain weight. No, that's so not true. I lost 40 pounds in 3 months while going through that period. I transformed my life. I am on a sugar-free diet for already 18 months and I sustain that.
Wow, that's good.
I sleep 5 hours. I am full of energy. I raised my productivity for 80%, simply because I just flipped what is comfort for me and what is uncomfort. And that's very circulating idea that we hear from many people, telling that you have to be comfortable to feel uncomfortable. What is the difference for my technique? It's not feel comfortable to feel uncomfortable, because your brain will sabotage you. It's to feel uncomfortable.
That's right.
to be comfortable, because once you flip and you realize you distract the link between your subconscious and conscious, your conscious takes the control over, and it just starts to change because you see the reality through the lens which you didn't try before. Wow, I'm wasting my time.
Yes.
I fool my body that I have everything. I meet all the needs. I help people. I go for some social activities. I network. I try my best. That's the problem. We try our best in the field which is not beneficial for us. You just need to flip that. You need to remove the activities which are not serving you. Step by step, nullify your biochemistry, rewire the links that you already have built since decades, and then you will feel the difference. It's not about feeling comfortable to feel uncomfortable. The flip happens when you are uncomfortable. Be comfortable.
So very true. That aligns with my story. I retired in 2018, took a couple years thinking I'm just going to, have fun, travel, play with my grandkids. And I just felt like I was not doing what my purpose was. So I started a business, I started a podcast, I wrote books, everything that made me uncomfortable, everything that said, you have no business doing this. And yet I did, and it's so wonderful. It's so wonderful.
Were you fearless or fearful? What was the first impression like?
Oh, my first thing was, I guess it was fear that I would fail. And the second thing was mostly fear that people would find out that I had no business doing what I was doing.
Welcome. Yes, that's so true. And
Yeah.
we are all going through the same doubt.
Of course, of course.
So once you just learn how to overcome the fear, and it's not by words, we cannot change because the nature created us to react to every emotion that comes from the outside. So we react by shifting our biochemistry. Once you crack the code how to synthesize the beneficial biochemistry, that's when everything changes.
And I think, as you talk about the shift from science to where you are, to me, whenever I think of science, science is you really, you have the theories and then you prove them. And generally for things to work, you have to be precise and perfect. Whereas in the real world, I always say, don't try to be perfect because that's stressing you out. That's making you feel less than you are. And so I could see how that would be a tough thing for a scientist to make that shift. So I wondered, how do you rewire an old story that keeps playing in your brain over and over that makes you stay in that state? For me, I didn't let it stop me from trying to be something different than I was. But there are a lot of people out there that they have that image, especially perhaps someone that's in an executive or whatnot that feels they have all the status and all the money coming in, and to make a change, to get to that uncomfortable, is really not something they want to do. That fear is really helping them. But how do they get rid of that story that they have to be that person? Especially, and I'm also thinking a lot of my friends when I was young, the executives that I knew, when they retired, they only lived like a couple years because they didn't know who they were anymore. So talk to us about how we get rid of that old story,
That's
rewire
very
that.
sad, yeah. And if we back up and we try to just remember what already exists, like everybody talks about that, but I will just add what I found new. So we all have 6 human basic needs. Like everybody knows, it's certainty, uncertainty, it's connection or love, significance, growth. So whenever you go through those, and the first 3 are the priority. So the certainty is the priority for everyone because we're biologically wired that we need to feel safe. Yet what I discovered that per need, we have the daily limit.
Yeah.
That's why when you go through the day, if you have many negative emotions, like what do you feel? It's enough. I can't take this anymore. So you hit that threshold per emotion, depending on what is your tolerance level. So if you start to feel that need with the activities which are not serving you, let's say you go for the party, how long you need to be at the party to feel satisfied. Let's say first time is 3 hours. Next time you need more. You need more. You need more because you are trying to feel, let's say, the need for the significance with completely fake activity because you don't have significance. So you just go to the social meeting or the gathering and you try to find the significance, but you are searching in the wrong place.
Yeah.
Yet with the biochemistry, because our body gets exhausted by the end of the day, so you keep producing the same hormones. Let's call it hormones. It's because it's different, like it's the neurotransmitters and hormones, but for the easier, let's call them hormones, all of them. So your body gets exhausted, and that's when you hit that threshold. It's enough. I can't take this anymore. We go to sleep, we nullify our biochemistry, and in the morning, we already start with the particular biochemical level that we have from the previous months, years, or whatever. It's our comfort level threshold. And then you just keep doing. But once you change, you flip, and you do something new, what happens? You hit that threshold faster. And that's you slide back, right back. What I discovered, if you do something new, and right after you do the same thing over and over again, you actually fool your body that nothing changed. And your body is like, okay, I'm confused. I kind of went for the seminar. I learned something new. But then you feed your body with the certainty and it calms down. So there is a spike and then you calm down. There is a spike, and instead of sliding back to your comfort zone, you just keep going with the small steps, the slides, the spikes, and then it's certain, it's spike. And this is when you raise, the next spike goes, yes, it's bigger and bigger, it's taller. And this is when you stretch your tolerance, you adapt literally to feel fine with the biochemistry of fear. So next time when you are fearful, you feel kind of, okay, that's familiar for me. It's nothing new. So you raise your tolerance to the biochemistry, which you actually benefit when you need to go for the risk, you need to start the business, and you need to take to the next level, whether it's life, whether it's relationship. Because why people stay in the relationship? It's a very new term. It's spreading like crazy. It's economical marriage. People stay in the marriage where they are unhappy simply because they are fearful to start over. This is what you need to do. You change not how you see the fear. I'm fearful again, but I adapted to the biochemistry. So once I start to feel fear, my body is, okay, That's not new for me. I'm familiar with that. I raised my tolerance. Now we go for the next stretch. Now we go for the next stretch. And every time I don't slide back to my comfort zone. Do you know why? Because I flip the comfort zone with uncomfort zone.
Yeah.
Now my comfort zone, I never call it comfort zone. It's uncomfortable to be comfortable. So I never slide back because I know this is the dead end. I don't want to be there.
Yeah. So you touched a little bit about relationships, and one of the books that you have talks about dating and singles. So what's the number one mistake singles make? And I've been married 46 years, so it's been a long time since I dated. So love to hear what's that number one mistake singles make when dating?
So what I describe in the book is whenever we go for the dating, what is the first thing that we do? And 100% singles I work with, they answer the same way. Obviously, I check if I like the person, if the person has this, what I'm searching in the person. And I'm like, welcome to my world. You do the number one mistake every single makes. And it's confusing for them because the green flags that we check, they are never the reason that people break up. Is the red flags. But by the time you check all the green flags, you are already emotionally attached to the person. You think, oh, the person checked all my green flags. What if I don't find somebody else who would check all the green flags? By the time you are emotionally attached, you go through the relationship first month, second, half of year, 1 year, then you already start to feel that there is a loss. And you stay in the relationship, though there is a red flag that you will not tolerate. So instead of going the same failure from one to another, check the red flags before you even check for the green flag. Don't care if the person meets all your criteria that you need. If there is a one red flag you will never tolerate, stop there. Don't even waste your time. Don't invest your time. It's not going to work out. But then you would be again exhausted. You would feel there is something wrong with you, while it's just only simply you didn't check the red flag.
Yeah.
Just flip it. It's everything is the flip of the perspective. So don't see the world only from one side. Every medal has 3 sides, by the way. It's how you see the world, it's how your partner sees the world, and there is a part where your and the partner needs, they just cross over. And this is where you find the interest or the connection with the person, or this is where things start to flip. And once you have the larger area for the overlap, this is when you can feel that the person is the right person for you. The passion is the right passion for you, because you feel within yourself, like with every single cell in your body, that that's what you want to do. But then you know that there is no red flag. It's also for the business. If you feel that you are uncomfortable to do some particular, not because you are not confident, because we need to like sort out what we are uncomfortable because of. What we are uncomfortable because we don't want to do that, or we are just unfamiliar. We can learn it step by step. Just go, just fail, as I did. I failed so many times, I cannot even count. Next time I would send the message to somebody, I literally would add at the end the sentence, even though I know that your answer is going to be no.
Oh, no.
I'm serious. For the last 1 year, I would send the message and with the line at the end, even though I know your answer is going to be no, I would appreciate if you don't ignore my message, just send me the no. Why? Because then I know that you read and I didn't meet your criteria, whatever expectations. but I know that there is a need for me to change, but still you push me to change something. If I think that my letter landed in your spam box and it's simply because you didn't check my mail, then I keep hoping, oh, maybe the person would say me yes. But I have your no. I have your no. And sometimes people would come back and they would be, no, actually it's yes. And I'm like, yes, yes, I did that. But I add that sentence at the end. I know that your answer is going to be no, but if I don't ask, I will have the default no. What if it's yes?
Yeah. What is it if it's yes?
Yes. What if it's yes?
Well, it has been, the time has flown by, and it is time now for us to share your contact information. If you have been interested, intrigued by what Axa has said today and want to get to know her a little bit better, we're going to share her contact information. For those that are just listening, you know that you can go to my YouTube channel, Vicki Noethling. So please subscribe if you haven't. And also, you can find the information in the show notes on my findyourleadershipconfidence.com. On Facebook, you can find her with her name, Axa Yox, and that's AXA.YOX. LinkedIn, again, just search her name, Axa-Yox- PhD top talent award winner, and some numbers. Again, just search her name, you'll find her. Instagram is her name again, Axa_Yox. YouTube is at Axa Yox with initial cap. And TikTok is at Axa Yox, all small letters. I'm going to let Axa talk to you about things that you can find when you go to her social media and different links. So it's all yours.
Yes, you can find a lot of information and also the wisdom that I share. And for the last period, I started to convince also the business owners that they need to take the dating classes because per wrong hire, you would be amazed.
Yes.
Per wrong hire, you lose 10,000 as a minimum. And then up to 50% of the annual salary for the wrong hire, plus how they affect the culture of the company. So isn't it wiser to take one class with the dating coach and to learn how to spot the wrong person from the very beginning and save so much money? And plus to integrate the new hire easier and learn how to build extremely thriving environment and the relationship between people who work in your company.
So good. Axa, it's been just great chatting with you. You gave so many really good points. I love that we should go from the uncomfortable to the comfortable, start at that uncomfortable and kind of flip the way that we've been taught in the past. I am a living proof that what she says is true. So definitely do take a moment, go visit her LinkedIn site as well as her others to learn more, to DM her, to connect with her so that you can take her masterclass and different techniques that she has in her books. As you see, the Master the Art of Despites. I love that. So again, thank you so much for being an awesome guest, Axa.
Thanks for hosting me. And yes, we have a lot of wisdom to share. Let's keep inspiring people. Let's keep sharing that we are the beacon of failure, and still it's possible to succeed while you failed so many times.
It's awesome. All right, so it's time now for me to just remind everyone that life is a journey, and it's up to you to enjoy the ride. This is Vicki Noethling, signing off.
Thank you for tuning into the Find Your Leadership Confidence podcast with Vicki Noethling, where we share impactful lessons that help you grow as an individual, grow your confidence, and find the positive and good within you so you powerfully and authentically become the best version of yourself. Remember to visit our website at www.findyourleadershipconfidence.com and enjoy even more great episodes like this one. Again, while you're here, subscribe to us via your favorite network. We look forward to seeing you next time on the Find Your Leadership Confidence podcast.